Over the last 8 weeks, I've interviewed some really fantastic women who have told me what it was like for them juggling a busy job with a hectic home life. At the end of each interview, I asked each woman if they had any little tips that had helped get them through. They shared tips on all sorts of things, from breastfeeding advice to how to talk to a grumpy teen. Here are some great tips from some fantastic women. Here's Emma Pinchbeck, Chief Executive of Energy UK.
If you are breastfeeding, the little cups that you can kind of put on and catch the runoff in the beginning, things I really want the world to know about my life. No one tells you leak a lot in the first few weeks as your body catches up with what the baby's doing. And I think even if you're switching to formula for a while, you just kind of, it's just really deeply sexy postnatal period where you're just covered in fluids of one kind or other all the time. And one of them is breast milk, and you can get these little cups that sit over your breasts and it catches the runoff. And it's such a small thing, but it's like 2 ounces of really precious milk that reduces the amount of time that you're attached to a pump. So those were ace.
MP for Morley and Outward, Andrea Jenkins.
I think also my top tips for being a mum is, get them out their night feeds quickly. Don't let your guilt because they're crying because you make a rod for your own back. I wish I'd have done that. And get them into their own bed as quick as possible as well, definitely. And don't be afraid to accept this mummy guilt and the emotions that you feel, because I think it's a natural process. Don't beat yourself up over it. You can do both. It is a juggle, but you can do both. And just don't be too hard on yourself.
Baroness Ruby McGregor-Smith has some wise words after 20 years of juggling parenting and work.
Don't be surprised if it feels really hard. Go with it. Go with the emotional ups and downs of it more than anything. The most important thing I found was you need a support network. However you create it, you need a support network for everything. The mums at school were great. It'd be like, could one of you take one of them back? I'll be back a bit late. I'll have yours tomorrow night. So it's creating a new network, which is different to your network that you had before you have kids, and accepting that network is going to keep changing. But, I've met some amazing people through it. Some of the mums I met at school, again, great mates for life. Our kids have all grown up, been through lots together. We've been through lots together. But they've really helped, particularly in the early days. And I think it's really important to do that.
Stella Creasy MP tells me how she discovered a new side of herself.
I've taken the opportunity in lockdown to explore my inner... what was her name? The character played by Felicity Kendall in The Good Life. Barbara. So actually, I say I'm a terrible cook, but we've been making our own baby food. And we found a machine that allows you to fill the pouches yourself.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's great fun. My brother gave me the best recipe ever, which is a secret, and if you can't get your child to eat, baby mole, which is basically bananas and avocado. I don't know what they put in. What happens?
You blend it up.
When you mix the two together, it's magic.
Oh, okay.
Baby
I'll try
mole. That. My brother is a special original recipe, but and it's one of those things, isn't it, where you start tasting baby food.
Yeah.
Yeah, the baby biscuits are quite.
Yeah, I know. The lovely Bryony Gordon on looking after yourself.
Have boundaries, be strong in them. Don't be the person who, say you go back and you're supposed to be doing, you've agreed to go back for 4 days. Don't end up doing 5 days in 4 days.
Yeah, that is hard, isn't it?
And, remember that you are amazing, but you don't have to be Superwoman.
CEO Sam Smethers on how to navigate your relationship.
Well, my top tips would be, firstly, in terms of the conversation at home with a partner, is to try to at least anticipate some of these scenarios, whether it be, if the child's ill, the drop off and pick up, who's packing the packed lunch if the kid's going off to school, whatever it might be, who's doing what, and try to have some of that negotiated up front, so you are consciously sharing it and you're making some of those tasks visible to the other person, because if they're not doing them, they won't be seeing them, they won't be thinking about them. But often we all know that they still need to be done. So, that sometimes it can just be assumptions and communication and misunderstanding that lead to resentment inequality really, and that then those behaviours persist because we just carry on doing it.
Food writer and political activist Jack Monroe on how to deal with tricky teenagers.
About 6 months ago, he started to really withdraw into himself, and I think it was a combination of lockdown, pandemic, hormones. So I got this set of cards for Christmas that's called Empowering Questions, and they're like prompt cards. They're for adults really, but I'd tried everything, how was your day? How was your day?
Fine.
Really? Fine. What did you do today? Did you do art today? I'd be like, oh God, I need to stop this from becoming a thing. And the questions like, what would I do if I had no fear? And what do I think is holding me back? Or what is my best quality?
Oh, what lovely questions.
If one of my friends was going to describe me in 3 words, what would they say? And so we started doing this over dinner. And so we leave the pile of cards in the middle of the table and we'll each draw 2. And then we ask each other the questions. And initially, it was like pulling teeth. It was like, what am I good at? Nothing. Like, oh no, we've just come up with a whole new way to be sullen and avoidant. Brilliant. But, we persevered with it. And it's generated some really great little conversations and some really good chats between us over the dinner table, and it's now become our thing.
Pop star Nadine Coyle on her secret to getting a baby to sleep.
Tap is routine. It's just routine for me. I mean, the first few weeks there was just no routine, so the routine was no routine.
Yes.
And then as soon as I was able to get into one, the big thing in that time was swaddle and.
It's quite difficult, isn't it, swaddling?
It's quite difficult. We got this swaddle with like sticky bits on it. So Velcro.
Yeah.
So you just sort of, and then you Velcro it over.
That's a good idea.
Go down and it was life changing. So
because otherwise they all come undone, don't they?
Yeah, and you have to be like an expert. It's like I can't wrap Christmas presents. I do the classic Christmas cracker, and everyone knows. They're like, "This is from Nadine." Like, yes. So swaddle, and someone had gave me that as a gift.
I hope you enjoyed these tips. For me, it's been amazing to speak to all these brilliant women and find out how they managed to juggle having a baby and a career. And it's definitely helped me feel more reassured and less alone in my own return to work. If you want to hear more from them, please do go back and listen to the podcast. And I hope you find it as useful as I did. Subscribe to The Telegraph for lots of brilliant parenting advice. Get 30 days for free at telegraph.co.uk/audio.